So, first of all, what do you mean by lipids? How do you call lipids? What are lipids essentially? Lipids, you will find long hydrocarbon chain, right, with which is esterified to an acid, organic acid, that is COOH. Long hydrocarbon chain esterified with an acid or attached with an acid. COOH. Yes, COOH. That's how you can define lipids. But lipids, you can actually defining another better way of defining lipids. They are organic substances. So even carbohydrates are organic substances, but they are lipids are insoluble in water, but soluble in organic like chloroform, ether, and benzene. You cannot dissolve oil in water, but if you put them in chloroform, it will dissolve. You put them in benzene, oil will dissolve inside it. So they are esters of fatty acids with alcohol. The best definition. Lipids are esters of fatty acids with alcohol. So fatty acid plus alcohol, the bond which is formed in between, that is known as ester. So what is an ester? Ester is the bond formed when a fatty acid joins with alcohol. Alcohol has got an OH group and fatty acid has got COOH group. And they are utilized by the living organisms, fats. So you can classify next, go to the next slide. You can classify lipids. First is simple lipid, complex or compound lipids, and derived lipids. So fatty acids and their derivatives, they are also in under lipids. Go to the next slide. So what are simple lipids? They are esters of fatty acids with various alcohols. Depending on the type of alcohol, you have neutral fats. They are also known as triacyl glycerol. Acyl is C dash CO double bond OH. C dash COOH. This is an acyl group. Acetyl group is also the same, but acyl you have a bigger hydrocarbon chain. So all acetyl groups are acyl groups. So just to be sure, I'm just trying to draw it on the board. Instead of C, I write this as R. This is an acyl group. And this is an acetyl group. Okay, this is an acyl group, this is an acetyl group. Just to be very clear. So all acetyls are acyl. So you have triacyl glycerol. So triacyl glycerol, that would mean there are 3 carbon acyl groups. So triacyl group, something like this. There is tri and then to that is attached acyl groups. So you have triacyl glycerol. Glycerol has got 3 carbons to which this is a glycerol. Just to be very clear. This is the glycerol. Okay. This is a glycerol group. To this are attached acyl groups. Therefore, they are known as triglycerol or triglycerides, which is very bad for your health, for your heart. Triglycerides কম খেতে বলে because they deposit in your arteries. হার্ট অ্যাটাক হবে না, হার্ট ব্লক হতে পারে, মানে আর্টারি ব্লক হতে পারে, হার্টে রক্তটা ঠিক করে আসে না। It's not always having it's a heart block and a heart attack is different. Attack is when your heart is having a problem, but when supply to the heart is having a problem, that is heart block. And obviously, if the blood doesn't go properly into your heart, if it is blocked somewhere, the heart will die. It will not get nutrition. Then you have the attack. Then you have the neutral fats, and then you have the waxes. Type of alcohol. Waxes have got different alcohol. Triacid has got a glycerol. Glycerin যেটা হাতে মাখো শীতকালে। Then simple lipids you have seen. Neutral fats or triglycerols and waxes. You don't have to study too much about waxes, but you have to study the classification. Waxes can be two types. True waxes, beeswax, linolene, যেগুলো মোম, ওগুলো কিন্তু cholesterol ester, this you have to study other waxes like cholesterol. So now let us look at a triacyl glycerol. এখানে the figure, next slide এ যাও। 1, 2, 3. What do you find in 1, 2, 3? The green part actually, that is the glycerol molecule, and the red ones beside it, বাদিকেরটাতে দেখো, red one beside it, acyl groups, the fatty acids, ঠিক আছে, COOH, R1COOH. Now both of them they fuse, the green H and the red HOH. Are you seeing them fuse? Fuse করে what you come, three molecules of water are eliminated, and what you get over here is a triglyceride or triacyl glycerol. Clear? So এইটা just মনে রাখবে, this diagram it can come in the question in your এই diagramটা মনে রাখলে বুঝবে। So glycerol plus fatty acid you get triglyceride. So what will be diglyceride? Logically, what do you think diglyceride will be? Two acyl, only two acyl group and one will be OH ফাঁকা থাকবে। monoacyl glycerol, monoglycerides, only one acyl group, ঠিক আছে। Most dangerous of them is triglycerides. So this is a fat in liquid state is called an oil. The fat in liquid like mustard oil, vegetable oil. Solid state, it's not oil. Like butter. The cheese has got lots of proteins. High quantity of proteins are there in cheese. Butter, lard, animal fat, coconut oil. Adulteration, they add something else to make the color or the smell. অনেক জায়গায় মার ক্যাপিটাল দিয়ে দেয় বা সর্ষের তেলের গন্ধ পাওয়ার জন্য। হ্যাঁ, সর্ষের অনেক ভেজালের, ওটা আমি অত exactly I don't know much details on adulteration, but they add some substances which give the same effect and smell, or in fact even better effect and smell. Then you have complex or compound lipids. So they are esters of fatty acids with alcohol, and they have additional group like phospholipids, your membrane phospholipids. You have phosphates attached to it in your membrane. Glycolipids, ঠিক আছে, carbohydrate attached to lipids. Phospholipid is phosphate attached to lipids. Lipoproteins, fats attached to proteins. Lipids attached to proteins. You have the additional groups. So phospholipid additional group is phosphoric acid. They also have nitrogen containing bases. Phospholipids can be classified as phosphoglycerides, glycerophospholipids, or sphingophospholipids. They are sometimes called as sphingolipids also. Like your, it's on your myelinated nerves from your brain, the covering, myelin sheath is made up of sphingolipids, right? It's a type of molecule, a group. So glycerophospholipids can be phosphatidylcholine, they are known as lecithin, phosphatidylethanamine, phosphatidylserine, phosphatidylinositol. Then it can be lysophospholipid, phosphatidic acid, some people call it also. Then there can be plasmogens, cardiolipids, all these molecules. So alcohol present is sphingosine in sphingospholipids to form sphingomyelins. Just namta, I am not going to the structure yet. So what are glycolipids? Lipids containing fatty acid plus alcohol, sphingosine. Sphingosine is nitrogenous alcohol. And nitrogen থাকে সেই অ্যালকোহলটার মধ্যে. It's a complex alcohol. They also have nitrogen containing bases. That is because it's a base alcohol. They do not contain phospho groups. They are known as glycosphingolipids. Glycosphingolipids, they contain phosphate, but no phosphate, glycosphingolipids. So, important glycolipids are cerebrospinocytes and gangliosides. In the ganglion, their covering is the present. In the cerebrosides, it's present all over the nerves. So, lipoproteins. Acha. Next is chylomicrons. They are very low density lipoproteins, VLDL. Then you have the low density lipoproteins, LDL. Whenever you do a lipid profile, you get these. Then you have the high density lipoproteins, HDL. Then what are the derived lipids? Fatty acids, steroids, cholesterols. Then they are obtained after hydrolysis of simple and compound lipids. Hydrolysis means breaking with water. तोड़-फोड़ के बनाया गया है. Then you have different lipid soluble vitamins and hormones. All these examples will come from lipids. Then what are the functions of lipids? It's the storage form of energy. It is the structural component of membranes, phospholipids, glycolipids and sterols. They are. Then cholesterol. It is a precursor of vitamin D and membrane fluidity of the cell. Cholesterol is very important. It gives rigidity to the membrane. So lipids, they act as thermal insulators. So in polar bears, they during summers they eat a lot and accumulate fat, and that helps them to pass the hibernate in the winter, as well as it gives an insulation from the winter cold. They are non-polar lipids, so they act as electrical insulators in neurons. The lipids are important dietary constituents because of the fat-soluble vitamins. Because if you don't have if you don't take vitamin, anything you take in the body, it needs to be dissolved. It needs to be dissolved. Essential fatty acids. If you don't dissolve it, what happens? If you don't dissolve it, okay, if you don't dissolve it, then body can't utilize this. So you need the fat to dissolve the fat soluble vitamins, and then uh, it can be utilized as food. क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है? एमएससी फर्स्ट सेम क्लास हो रहा है. Lipids help in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and K. They act as a solvent for the transport of fat-soluble vitamins. Now, what are fatty acids? We come to the mudda ka baat, जिसे कहते हैं. They are carboxylic acids with hydrocarbon chains. Carboxylic acid means COOH. This is the carboxylic acid. Anything RCOOH, it is carboxylic acid, and hydrocarbon CH alkanes, alkenes, alkynes. Right? They are represented by a chemical formula RCOOH. They are amphipathic in nature. Amphipathic means one side polar, one side non-polar. Addicta, water loving, other side is water hating. Okay, the OH group is water loving, but the other hydrocarbon group, it hates water, hydrophobic. So one molecule has got both of them. That is known as amphipathic. एक side hydrophilic, एक side hydrophobic. Then you have palmitic acid. One example, palmitic acid. Now see how many carbon chains are there. Please practice the structure of this palmitic acid. And the structure you will practice from, I'll send you another note, handwritten notes, practice it like that from there. ठीक है? Like arrows, dots, you practice it something like this. It is very easy to remember palmitic acid structure in such a thing. For example, you can draw C O OH. Now, first this is carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5, carbon 6, carbon 7, carbon 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So basically this is the structure of palmitic acid. This is palmitic acid. You can even draw them like, basically this is a CH2, 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 and in the last it is CH2. So if I put a bond, another line, that means there is a double bond over here. One H2 is missing, one H is missing over here. So if it's a double bond, then it becomes CH. It's a single bond, CH2, CH2. So one is missing. H2 only two H's are remaining. This is a cis conformation, and a trans means this is trans. Clear? Cis and trans means this is a cis bond, but when it becomes a trans, it somehow you start like this, then becomes like this. Molecule, the shape becomes like that. So trans fat is why they say fish fat is better. Trans fat is why is fish fat harmful? Monosaturated because they stack over each other and form solid. At this trans, it is very difficult for them to stack. स्टैक हो तो जम जाएगा एक के ऊपर एक के ऊपर एक के लेकिन अब इफ इट इज ब्रोकन लाइक दिस अगर टोटा मोटा कैसे वो लोग जमेगा एक लिक्विड रहेगा so it can flow properly but anyway no fat is healthy all fats are bad कोई भी fat minor amount you need it for your body for your cholesterol but excess fat is not good not at your age of course. So see in the structure of palmitic acid, you see the CH2, the first COH is the acyl COH. ठीक है? The second is in green, that is known as the alpha carbon. The next carbon is known as the beta carbon, or the third carbon is the beta carbon. Second is the alpha carbon. Then you have alpha, beta, gamma. So when you talk about beta oxidation, the bond always breaks at the beta carbon. Therefore, 2, it's known as beta oxidation. Gamma oxidation is it breaks at the gamma carbon. Alpha oxidation breaks at the alpha carbon. So basically people have studied beta oxidation. So classification of fatty acids. They are classified into 4 major classes. First is straight chain fatty acid, branch chain fatty acids. And substituted fatty acids, cyclic fatty acids. So in the next picture you can see I have them straight chain fatty acids, branch chain fatty acids, examples are over there, substituted fatty acids, then you have cyclic fatty acids. The straight chain fatty acids can be divided into saturated fatty acid and unsaturated fatty acids. Unsaturated fatty acids means there is what does it mean? Unsaturated means there is no saturation, no double bond. And saturated fatty acids are not good because they will stack एक के ऊपर एक बैठ जाएगा. Saturated fatty acids. So this type of fat is not good. Unsaturated fatty acids are better because of this double bond, it can have a trans configuration. And because of trans configuration, it can have a liquid structure. Liquid, it is much better. जैसे मक्खन जम जाता है ना तुम्हारा आर्टरीज में भी वो जम जाता है what happens is your macrophages they load blood cells they absorb this fat and when they die ये जो फैट अंदर में है वहीं पे डिपॉजिट करके चला जाता है and they keep on accumulating and then one day block then you stent घुसा के उसको बड़ा करना पड़ता है आर्टरी को ताकि ब्लड कैन फ्लो और बाईपास वो ब्लॉक हो गया you take another artery another vein and make a bypass to your heart or you can they sometimes do angioplasty they put a small gas filled balloon inside and blow ताकि if they get dislodged from there खुल जाएगा most of the time it doesn't work since it's so hard stent काम करता है but at sometimes when there is severe multiple stents you cannot put it's like something else in your body so worst case the last thing you do a bypass surgery open heart bypass surgery beating heart surgery BAPG. Then functions of fatty acids, you know, they are serve as the building blocks of phospholipids and glycolipids. They are components of membranes. They serve as derivatives of hormones like prostaglandins. तुम्हारा जो दर्द होता है, पेन जो होता है, basically is because of these prostaglandins which are released. If you suppress these prostaglandins and leukotrienes, You can suppress pain. ये पेन किलर जो खाते हो, they suppress this prostaglandins, इसको secrete बंद कर देता है, inhibit them, ताकि पेन नहीं होता है. फिर इफेक्ट चला जाता है, again they come out. If the solution problem has not been solved, problem for the pain has not been solved, these prostaglandins they will again come and they will basically, अगर दर्द हुआ, it's protecting this area, you will not touch that area or you will not use that area, you give that area time to heal. So pain is very good for the body. अगर दर्द नहीं हुआ तो तुम कैसे तुमको पता चलेगा कि वो जगह को साफ ये ठीक से रखना पड़ेगा, केयरफुली रखना है. पैर में चोट आ गया, পায়ে ব্যথা রয়েছে, তুমি লেগে লেগে চলছো বা ব্যান্ডেজ পরে নিচ্ছ বা এসব কিছু না করছো, কেন করছো? এই জন্যই করছো. পেইনটা না থাকলে, there is a group of people who don't feel pain and they get lethal injury. খাচাক করে পেটের মধ্যে চাকু ঢুকিয়ে দিল, no pain, but that is going to, that is damage, the damage हो रहा है, and they will gradually they die of blood loss. कहीं से कट गया पता नहीं चला, पैर में कट गया, खून बह के मर गया. This is very dangerous. You don't, body has got no indication of pain. कभी कभी किसी কারো দাঁত তো লাগাচ্ছে, হ্যাঁ, একটা অ্যানেস্থেশিয়া দেয়, কিছুক্ষণ বাদে কিছুই তো বুঝতে পারো না, whether ये है या नहीं है, you don't know. It's something like that, no pain, no prostaglandins over there, secret. दांत में कोई स्टिमुलेशन नहीं आ रहे हैं, you don't feel pain there. इसीलिए दांत को निकाल दिया, फिर पेन किलर दिया, जब तक की जगह हील हो गया तब पेन किलर बंद कर दिया, and then your teeth gets healed up. So prostaglandins are also important. So fatty acids, they also serve as a major fuel for most cells. Okay, today we will stop over here. Next day we will talk about numbering fatty acid carbon chains. कल class नहीं होगा. Therefore, tomorrow I have got too many classes. Therefore, to decrease my load, today I have no classes. I have taken it today. ठीक है ना? If possible, Friday's class I will take it today on Thursdays. हाँ, जब otherwise I don't have any time ही नहीं मिलता है.